just want to thank you for clicking on this channel and supporting this channel. And before we even get started, because we're going to get into some things today, but before we even get started, I would like you to like, subscribe, and share this channel. And so that is your way of supporting me. And don't forget to leave comments. Let me know how I'm doing. Let me know what I could improve, what I could do better. And I thank you so much for your love and support. And without further ado, we're going to get into this video. So, the topic for today is only expect a person capacity. Some people don't have the capacity to give you what you want, okay? And this is about relationships for the most part. You know, most of my topics are about relationships, but this particular one is really about relationships and basically just letting you know, like, listen, they might not give you what you want, sis. You know, they a person may not be able to give you all that you are asking for in a relationship dynamic with them, regardless of what kind of relationship it could be: mother, daughter, father, son, friend, foe, whatever. Okay, whatever that relationship dynamic is, only expect from a person what it is that they have the capacity to give. So I'm going to go through 6 tips. The first one is respect where they are. So oftentimes we have our expectations in our minds like, oh my God, you know, I want XYZ, I want A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And if this person doesn't give me all that I want, then it's a problem. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes a person can't give you what you want. Sometimes, you know, I'll give you an example. You got a man and he got a minimum wage job, but you love this man, right? But he don't make a lot of money, but you want a man who drive a Lamborghini and live in a mansion. He can't give you that. So what can he give, right? You have to respect where that man is, you know, or that person is, whatever area of life they may be in. So a person could only give you what they have the capacity to give. If they don't know how to love, they don't have the capacity to show you love. You know, at least not the way that you may want it to be shown. You know, they may show it in different ways because people do things differently and people grow up differently, and their experiences, our experiences, create who we are. So sometimes, you know, we're not taught to do things the way that other people want us to do it too. You know, we may be taught a different way, and because we're taught a different way and our life experiences has shaped us to become a different person and handle things differently, we might not be able to give you what you want all the time. And that goes for everybody, you know. And the second thing is, your expectation isn't their reality. Not because you expect something from somebody, not because you feel like a person should give you something, not because you feel like a person should know better. That doesn't mean that they know better. Not because you feel like, oh my God, you're a whole adult. How you don't know how to do this? Maybe nobody taught them. Maybe they grew up at 19. They stopped learning. So between 19 and 35, they still a 19-year-old in a lot of places. They may still be a 5-year-old in a lot of places, a 10-year-old in a lot of areas of their life. So not because someone is considered quote unquote grown doesn't mean that they know everything that comes with it. Okay? And because a person don't know everything, like none of us know everything. I got a whole long list of stuff that I don't know, that I'm trying to learn, honey. And it's hard sometimes, especially when you're with a person or you have relationship, friendships, whatever. Relationship is a relationship. A relationship could be between you and a teacher. It's just not all relationships are romantic. So when I say relationship, I'm just saying a relationship between you and another person. Sometimes we don't win. Sometimes we got to sit our ass down and be humble somewhere because we just don't, we can't get it right now. You know what I'm saying? We want all these things from somebody who's so broken and so hurt and so fragile. or so busy and so unavailable, or so mentally gone, or so unstable in so many ways, or so just maybe they're married, and maybe you're the side chick, and maybe you want more time, or maybe they work too much and you want more time, or maybe they just have kids and they got to take care of the children. They may have a special needs child. Whatever the case may be, sometimes life creates obstacles for us, and not because you and this other person have a relationship they're supposed to like rearrange their entire life for you. Maybe you feel a certain way about them, but they really don't feel that way about you to adjust their whole life. Maybe they could give you what you want, but because they are not willing to adjust their life to please you, that might be something to consider. Either way, they're not willing to give it to you because they just can't give it right now, or maybe you don't deserve it right now, or whatever the case may be. So that goes to my third point, where it's about potential. We have a thing where we see potential in people, right? Like, oh my God, girl, I see you doing big things, and why you don't do this, and why you don't do that, and why you don't do this, and oh my God, you're so creative here, and you're so this, and you're so that, and da 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 da. And people have all these things that they see within us. But guess what? You ready? You waiting? Okay. Let me give you this little nugget that's going to save you a whole lot of bullshit out your life. Potential is not real. I could see potential in you all day long. That don't make what I see, that potential, real. The only time potential becomes real is when a person see that potential within themselves and do something with that potential to make that potential real. That's the only time it's real. So if I can see you as a great speaker, a great businesswoman, a great entrepreneur, a great mom. If you don't see that within yourself, that's just me looking at potential, baby, and that don't mean that it's real. The best potential is in the cemetery because people never cultivate themselves and push themselves, or had the support to do the things that they want to do, or had the confidence to push themselves to the next level. So stop staying with people for potential. Stop building these relationships based on potential, because potential, baby, it is not real. What I would suggest you do is try to help a person see the better in themselves. And ambition is something that can't be bought, it can't be manufactured. Okay? Ambition can be manufactured. A person got to really just want to do better, and want to grow, and want more, and want whatever it is that you see in them. And maybe you could make them aware, like, you know what, oh my God, like, and they stop and think, like, damn, I never thought I could do that. That may be a good idea. Maybe I might try it. And you support them along the way, and then it works. And then voila, potential becomes reality. But what if you have a person who don't care for your opinion? And they don't care what you see because they don't see it themselves. Maybe they've been so broken, or their self-esteem is so low, or they just don't like what you're telling them. Maybe it's just not for them. It may be good as far as their personality. Like me, I have a sister who's a CEO, and she used to tell me all the time, girl, you mean as hell, you need to be a CEO. But for me, I don't want to work in that environment. That ain't for me. I'm sorry. I'm not going to be happy in that environment every day. I don't like looking over my shoulder. I don't like being paranoid. I don't even like to be seen. And I don't like to tell people what to do. Well, I kind of do like telling people what to do, but I'm just saying, I don't want to be that person, in that environment every day. Whereas she's good at it. She love her job. So it's just everything is not for everybody. So again, not because you see potential in someone, that does not make it real. Okay? On to my next point, which is number 4, which is be humble and supportive. Sometimes we want what we want now. I know I'm like that. I'm guilty of it, honey. I'm guilty for 200. I am the biggest critic sometimes. I am not the easiest person to deal with. I could be harsh. And I'm not that patient, and I'm not that humble, and I've lost out because I have not been humble. And sometimes we just gotta be humble, man, and supportive. Sometimes a person wanna give you what you want. They wanna meet you where you want them to meet you, but they can't do it right now. They may want to take care of some other things first or whatever. And sometimes you're gonna get it if you're just a little humble. I gotta wait. And my thing is wait around under one condition. You gotta see growth. You know what I mean? Like you gotta see growth. Like you got a kid who don't like school, but maybe you got a kid who's like real tech savvy and social media savvy, and what they want to do is not the traditional thing that you feel like they should do, like college. They're going to say certain things that may seem real foreign to you, but I promise you, if you let them, if you be a little humble, give them a timeline, set a deadline where you got to see some type of progress, where they want to do something else or whatever. They just need time to get it together. Give them time, because here's the real deal. You know how when we went to school and the teachers always ask you what you want to be when you grow up? And I, like me, I wanted to be a pilot, right? So when I was little, I wanted to be a pilot. That's always what I wanted to do, because I remember growing up in the islands and I used to look at the planes and wonder like how we got up there. I mean, I knew they flew the plane, but I just didn't, I needed to understand the process. So by the time I got to high school, opportunity came along and I got into aviation high school, and I went to Wingate High School in New York, which was become a pilot. But that's what I wanted to be when I grew up. But life changed my goals. Life changed that. And so if my mom was holding me accountable to be a pilot since I was a kid, till now, she would have been disappointed, because the reality is I didn't want to do it no more. Make a point to you that you have to give people room to grow. Give people time, set boundaries, set timelines, but give them a chance, man. Sometimes they may not do what you want to do, but maybe they got a better plan. It might not always be your way. Stop trying to control everything. And the fifth point that I want to make to you guys is do what works best for you. So let's say you got a husband and your husband just lazy and he don't work and he don't want to pay no bills and you just doing everything by yourself. And you frustrated, your kids don't listen, you know what I mean? You just overwhelmed, whatever the case may be. But a person is just not willing to meet you halfway. Sometimes you got to do what works best for you. That might mean that you may have to back all the way up and separate yourself. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you need to separate yourself for some people to get it together, because some people are hard headed and they burn to learn. Okay, so that may mean that, you know what, I don't want to be here with you until you do the things that I feel like you need to do or show me something of progression. I'm not going to stay in this situation. I'm not. You have to give them at least a chance. But if they don't want to get it together, honey, do what works best for you. If it works best for you to stick around and figure it out with that person, then stick around and figure out with that person. If not, dip. And for all you people who don't know what dip mean, get the hell on. Go about your business. Last tip is this: a person could only give you what they could give you when they're ready to give it to you. In other words, not because a person is not ready now does not mean they will never be ready ever. And that ready could be for whatever it is that you want them to give. Their capacity may change with time. That's why you got to be humble and patient and supportive. The process of wanting more from a person, because sometimes we just not there. Like for me, like it's hard for me to give myself to people. I'm very selfish with me. You have to deserve me to have me. I feel so comfortable to the point where I have no doubt in my mind about you. You haven't done anything to make me feel no kind of way. For me to just let my guard down, let you all in, like, okay, you good. And it could be no time at all, but it just depends on the person. Like a person, if a person comes to the table with capacity, it's easy. If a person comes to the table with fear and intimidation and all these negative things that they may be feeling, all these hurtful fears and stuff that they may be experiencing, then a person they're not in a space mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever, to give you what you want. You might just have to be patient and wait. And that's something that you really gotta got to decide, like, does it work best for you? You got to go back to five. It's to do what works for you. So I'm just going to recap this video. Expect a person capacity, because a person could only give you what they have the capacity to give. And the 6 steps I want you to go is: number one, respect where they are. Number two, your expectation isn't their reality. Okay, so stop putting whatever it is that you want them to do on them, because that's not their reality. Only whatever their capacity is in that moment is their reality. So that's what I want you to expect. Don't expect nothing else. Number three, potential isn't real. Whatever you see in them, they may not see in themselves, and they may not have they may not have what it takes to deliver what you see ever. And that's why you got to be, number four, humble and supportive, in the process of trying to figure out and be patient with them while they try to get it together if they're willing to, And number five, at the end of the day, you got to do what works best for you. And number six, not because they don't have it right now, not because they don't have the capacity to give you what you want right now, that does not mean that they would never ever have it. So let's treat each other with love. Let's treat each other with some tenderness. Let's treat each other with some kindness. Give each other support. Support is a big deal that so many of us lack in our lives from other people. Okay, so be supportive to who you love. Be supportive to the people in your life. Be loving and kind to the people in your life. And I hope that this video touched you in some way. I hope that I was able to bring some kind of goodness out of this video to you, okay, and help you in some way, shape, or form. Maybe it's not for you. Maybe it may be for somebody you know. Forward it to them. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Click the bell so you could get alerted. We post 3 times a week, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you so much for tuning in, and be blessed until next time. Bye-bye.